Welcome, everybody, to another goddamn horror podcast. I am one of your hosts, Jonas, over here in Bushwick, Brooklyn, and I am here with Graham over in Flatbush. How you doing, Graham?
I'm doing pretty good. Today, I want to, at the top, give a huge shout out to our Coven of the Goddamned.
Yes, throw it out there.
Michael, Drew, Stephanie, Katie, Chris, Alan, Angela, Jasmine, Jason, Jake, Vivian, Ron, Kristen, Manny, Coleman, Jared, Michelle, Brandon, and Bacon Bits. Thank you all so much for your support. Y'all kick ass. The best coven around.
Yes, we all fucking rule. So we are going to skip over most of our banter because we have an awesome guest here today, who is the writer and director of a movie that kind of honestly caught me off guard. I was thumbing through Tubi and this one popped up and I was like, all right, I like the cover. You guys can see the cover behind him right now. I was like, this seems like it's going to be right down my alley. So I checked it out and then I told everybody about it after I watched it. So it was absolutely fantastic. So, director of Straight On Till Morning, Craig Ouellette. What's up, man?
Hi, how are you guys? Good to see you. Thanks for
Yeah,
having me
Good to
on.
see you.
Yeah,
Um,
I'm glad you liked it. Thanks for
I
quite a lot.
telling
absolutely
Yeah.
me.
love this movie. I've seen it 2.5 times because I
What?
started I started it and
I,
then
I've made I've made $1.20 off of you.
yeah, so I no, it is fresh. It is you love the characters right away. You have just great character development, great scenes in it throughout, very cool. Even though like the sort of the whole story isn't that like we've seen it before. But there's something about your movie that feels so much more like I don't know. I think it's the first like 20 minutes where you get to really learn the characters.
Mhm.
And then everything goes to fucking hell after that. And it is such a fucking awesome ride. And you fucking
Thank
care.
you.
And it's great. And that's why, yeah, Jonas and I have been talking about it all day. And since today, before today, we have, I am so surprised that I hadn't heard about it before, honestly. And that we
No,
just
actually,
came
I
across it on Tubi.
I had found out the way that I had found out about it is because I'm part of a Tubi horror group
Mhm.
on Facebook,
Oh, that
and
one.
it's specifically for Tubi horror. So I was on there, and then a bunch of people had said like, "Oh fuck, have you seen Straight On Till Morning?" And I was like, "Oh, I did see that coming through, the Tubi rounds." So I popped it on there, and this is like before we get into your breakdown of the movie, the thing that I think that you did so well. And what really lends itself to the digestibility of this movie is that the first part of the movie is a love story.
Yeah, yeah,
Like
yeah.
it's a straight up relationship story, and it allows you to get to really know these characters at least enough to the point to where when shit starts going sideways, you're automatically invested. You're like, oh fuck, I just learned all this about these people, and now I'm really into this.
Mhm.
So a
Good.
lot of movies that I think are like, survival movies or revenge movies or whatever like that, I think sometimes they miss that part
Yeah.
where they just don't give the character enough depth to where at the end of it you're like, yeah, like I want to see them, kill that motherfucker, but like also at the same time I don't care that much. It's
Yeah,
just kind
yeah.
of like whereas this one like you legitimately care about the characters.
Oh,
So
good.
I was
how did
absolutely
you
worried for them the whole time, and I usually don't do that during horror movies. I'm usually like, okay, this is you're here
it's like
now,
this
deal
just
with
what's gonna happen. Yeah.
it. And here I was like, oh no, they have to get out right now, right now. Let's get them out. Please save
Yeah,
these
yeah.
people. But
We
yeah,
love
So
please,
Bacon and
can
Caitlin.
you give us a breakdown, basically, of the plot?
the spoiler
Uh,
free breakdown.
well, of
Yeah,
course, spoiler free for sure. Spoiler free to start off with.
Yeah.
Um, Yeah, I mean, well, I mean, maybe I'll give you a breakdown by giving you the story about the writing of it.
Yeah.
Neil McLaughlin, the co-writer of this, when I met him in 2009, I was introduced by an actress friend, and she said, "I think he's somebody you would like to work with," because I was looking for a writing partner at the time, and he had a movie which is Straight On to Morning, which was he viewed it as True Romance meets Hostel is how he
Yeah.
viewed it. And he always wanted to do it where it was like 50% a love story and 50% a horror movie. Kind of like From Dusk Till Dawn, how it flops
yeah.
genres halfway through. I mean, that goes from a crime thriller to a horror movie. But
Yeah.
he always wanted to do that, and I always thought that was such a neat idea to do that. And over the course of time, the transition point of when it becomes a horror movie from a romance has shifted over time, in stuff. But it was always the idea, and I can't tell you how many times when in the early days before I just decided to make this myself and raise the money and stuff. When I had producers option it and things like that, where they're like, yeah, but we got to get to the bad stuff on page 10. You got to get to the bad guy, and I'm just like, no, that's literally not what this movie is. It is a romantic horror movie, through and through and through. And it's like, I think that's part of why you care about the characters so much. Is at least you guys have just said you did, and that's what I would say for all the audiences is that they care because like you say, it's like if you don't care about the characters, like sure maybe there's a craft that's done well about a suspense scene, or there's a cool kill or something like that, but there's not that emotional investment. And my favorite thing in movies in general, in all movies, but especially in horror movies, is suspense. And if you don't care about the characters, there is no suspense. I mean,
100%.
Yeah.
So it's like, I don't know if you've seen the movie The Invite. The movie The Invite is not a horror
Oh
movie.
yeah.
It's so good, and it's so tense and so unexpected, and and you're like, because I care about these characters and I want this to work out, and it's like, and I have no idea where it's going to go. And so it's like, there's a movie that is, far from a horror movie. But
it's definitely not a horror movie, but it's great.
But it functions with that tension of the unknown results of somebody, characters that you care about. So.
Yeah. I think what I would compare it to favorably as far as like the tone and the pacing of it, as far as like that first part where you like really get to really care about the character and then like the horrific stuff starts to happen, is Bones and All. Bones and All is one of those movies where I really I love the movie, but also if it was just two cannibals that met each other, it would be like, all right, like I kind of don't give a fuck about that really. But the way that they frame the characters in the beginning of the film, which it takes like probably a good 20 minutes or so, a good 20 to 25 minutes before anything like truly horrific happens. But that 20 to 25 minutes, like they really flesh out who the character is. So by the time the nefarious stuff starts to happen, you're like, okay, I'm fucking in. Like, like you truly do care about him. And I think what you did with yours is like the idea of the wanderlust thing, where it's just like she comes in, fuck your job, let's go do this, blah 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 blah. Like that was kind of cool because I think there's a lot of people in real life that would love to just do that. Would love to just drop their shit at their job and be like, I'm fucking going to this place with this person because that sounds way cooler than working in a diner, or whatever.
Right.
So yeah, you did a great job with it.
With the husband. And I think the actors that played Caitlin and Danny, like that's what, they made that. They made you love them like that, even like they had flaws and everything, and but like you didn't care, you knew where their hearts were, like it was set up, and you were rooting for them the whole time. And I think they did such a good job at that part, and the being completely it was cool because like it, and also there's a theme in almost every scene, I think, of like some type of love. And so the first part when they're like meeting and everything, it's like you have this perfect cool story of love, and then when it flips, it's like that mirror of or glass of love is shattered, and there's all these little parts of love like kind of fighting, and they can't, it's just that's how I envisioned it, because the family and stuff that they meet, and it's all different types of love, and not always good.
Not all love is good.
No, some of it's real fucked up.
I always look at it as it's a movie about the beautiful and terrible things people do for love.
100%.
The phrase here, love is scary. I actually always thought that for me the tagline for this movie is falling in love is scary. But then I realized, it's actually about more than just falling in love. It's about how can love, something that's the most beautiful thing in the world, how can it be turned into such a terrible thing? And of course, what one person thinks is a good thing, somebody else might think is a bad thing. And so it's like, but I really wanted everybody to be driven by love, be it romantic or familial or, parental or whatever the love may
Or
be.
distorted. Yeah.
So, and that also goes to the idea of what the family is.
Yeah.
So, like, when I think there was people that compared it to like a little bit of a, like a Wrong Turn or a little bit of a Texas Chainsaw Massacre or like that type of thing. But it really isn't that because it's more like it has more to do with like religious fanaticism.
Yeah.
So, when you made the movie, like, how did you come to that conclusion for the family?
Well, it's interesting. The first draft that Neil had was a straight story for one thing. It wasn't actually a queer story, but it was the bad guys were sort of vaguely religious bad guys that were
Sure.
just sort of like preaching things for no specific reason and tormenting our heroes. And the over the course of the rewriting and stuff like that, I was like, well, we can make it more specific. And once the idea, which was actually a few years into it, to switch it to a queer story, then of course the bad guys doing what they're doing with, we're all being vague. Listeners, we're being vague on purpose so that there's some.
Yeah.
Well,
Don't worry, we
you
will
know
get
what?
to a spoiler part.
We will
But
get to a
I
spoiler
think
section.
at this point you should go see the movie, and we should talk about it openly from here.
All
So
right.
go pause the podcast, go watch this. It's on Tubi, and then come back and listen to the rest. I think, right?
Yeah.
yeah,
And we're
it's
back.
always weird to talk about it, to be vague around certain things
Yeah.
like that. But
So
yeah.
let's get into it.
Yeah. 'Cause it's like, yeah. So this is now. Hopefully, Jonas and Graham gave you enough positive reasons to want to see this movie.
Yes.
And now we can get into some nitty gritty. But
We've been kissing the movie's ass before we brought you on to kiss your ass. So
Yeah,
like
well,
we've told
It's
people
true.
like
Yeah, we've been telling people this is absolutely like one of the gems I found. Just real quick before we get into it, did it just come out on Tubi?
So it came out on streaming on March 9th, I think it was.
Of this year.
For buying and renting on Amazon, YouTube Movies, Apple, Google Play, all that kind of stuff. And
Yeah.
then 3 months later, it came out on Tubi. I think it's also on Plex and Roku TV. It's funny how it works with this. Like
now it's all over
I
the
actually
place.
like my distributor quite a bit, and even he sometimes is like, what is happening?
yeah, like what the fuck's
There's, like,
going on?
layers above layers and things like that. So, but yeah, so it was out for 3 months on rent and buy, and it still is. Like if you're watching this and you're like, boy, commercials aren't my thing, you can still
And
rent it.
supporting horror is
Yeah.
your thing.
Supporting horror is it's still on
Support
Amazon.
indie
Apple
film,
is the best for us because technically we get a higher percentage of that because
Oh,
Apple
that's
gives
awesome to know.
70% to trickles down the line through the distributors and to the people.
I'm all about that, yeah.
50%.
Whatever
but-
it is that gets you the most profit, that's what we
Yeah.
want to go for.
For somebody like you, we want to see you make
Yay,
more
thanks.
movies. We want to
Yeah,
see
yeah.
people give you more money for more movies.
But
Yeah.
regardless of where you watch it, if Tubi is where your finances are at right now, it's like that's a great way. Any way you can see it, I'm happy.
Yeah, watch it and tell more people about it. It's that kind of a thing. I think word of mouth, especially when it comes to streaming, in the world of streaming right now, that does help a lot. But I did want to say one thing. I almost surprised you because we almost had, and Graham too, actually, it would have been a surprise for both of you. We almost had Bonnie on the show too. But she couldn't make it because of work schedules and stuff. So we are going to have Bonnie on, Graham, surprise. We're going to have Bonnie. Yeah, we're going to have Bonnie on a later episode at some point.
Oh,
But yeah,
fantastic.
we almost
Yeah.
had her on just as a surprise too, to be like, hey, yeah, we almost got Bonnie.
Yeah, because that's Bonnie.
Yes.
Bonnie's Caitlin.
Bonnie Jean Tyre, and she's also one of the main producers and did wardrobe as well.
She was really great. I also liked how you were kind of set up to think Danny was going to be the main protagonist. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Good. To me, it was always Danny's Kelsey Christian right here.
Yeah. She was awesome. They were
Yeah, it's
both
like-
incredible.
Yeah, to me, it's always it's a two-hander in the sense that it's a good relationship is a give and take as far as who might be better at this thing, who might be better at that thing, who's stronger in this emotional situation, who's stronger. So like it was always, intended to be kind of
No,
back
and I
and
think
forth about
that was
which
absolutely
ones.
great because
And
I sort of felt like when they were about to when the family finds them and you find out they're gonna basically marry one of them off,
mhm,
you I kind of assumed it was gonna be Danny just
yeah,
because the way the movie had followed her to Caitlin.
uh-huh.
So when it became Caitlin, I was like, oh, this just got even more interesting just in my own head. And I want to see where this goes because you do some really cool shit in this movie where just like the way like somebody's coming down the stairs or the way a kill is set up,
Uh-huh.
like it's different. Like I loved the final kill. Now that we're in spoilers, when they get
That's right. Final
Virgil
kill. Final kill.
with the chain when they break his neck by both of them pulling on it,
Yeah.
like the way the camera was set up to watch that happen, it played perfectly. Like it looked great. Like it was great.
Oh,
um
thanks. That was
the
that
thud of
particular
the
moment was very
chain
fast.
when they unlock her and the chain hits the ground before they're about to, like that is harrowing. Like
Yeah.
Yeah.
it's awesome. And the fact that
I,
you turned the husband, the mean husband, you hate him at first.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
hate Daryl, and then he shows up with a gun. And you're like, I fucking love Daryl right
I know. It's like, come on, man. That
I
was
love Daryl for this amount of time. Like,
yeah, yeah. And it's like, one of the reasons, because some people in the things were like, well, I think we don't want to care about him. I'm like, you absolutely want to care about him because one, then you don't care what happens to him if you don't care about
and
him.
then you don't remember the movie.
Yeah.
yeah.
But two, it's like it's complicated. Like, I mean, Caitlin clearly loves Daryl. Yes, he is not a good person, and yes, he is abusive, and yes, these are things. I'm not denying that and saying, well, or whatever. I'm not
Yeah.
saying
Yeah.
that at all. But what I'm saying is, it's like these relationships are complicated. Like
For
it's like
sure.
I mean, it's like we have either been in them or we know people who have been in them, and it's like how complex that is. So I wanted to try and show that with this by taking someone who you may think is maybe even the villain of the piece, and then turning
Right.
him into a possible rescuer hero type character. And because it's like if you're just doing the same thing all the time that we've seen 100 times before, and so some people have said that they're like, all right, it's too you're a crazy family, but it's like I appreciate that you can see the difference between this family and the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, and
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
like to me, it's like they're. I always viewed this movie as it's smart people outsmarting each other. Like I never wanted
Yeah.
the heroes to win because the bad guys did something stupid or start arguing in a way that a lot like that happens so often. It's like whoa whatever nonsense happens in some movies. It's like I wanted it to be smart people outsmarting each other. And whether or not that was achieved is up to each viewer, whether or not they
Of
feel like
course.
they
Yeah.
achieved that goal. But yeah, I find that more interesting to watch. Like I don't sometimes yes, you just want to watch dumb people get killed in a horror movie.
Sure.
But
Absolutely.
I don't really want to
Those
make
have their
dumb
place. I
people.
mean,
Yeah,
yeah.
they have their place. Like absolutely have their place, and I can enjoy them. But I'm like I don't. That's not the kind of thing I'm as interested in making because I love suspense. And it goes back to that.
Yeah.
Like, I want
And
Well,
I want you to care, and then put them through hell.
that's one of the things with this is like there was a whiplash effect with Daryl, which I thought was cool because
Oh,
like he
cool.
shows and it's again it's one of those things like we just pointed out in the beginning you hate him because of everything that you know about him, but then when he shows up, it's the thing where it's just like oh fuck he's here, and then he gets killed and it's just like oh fuck like okay like you're back to like cool fuck that guy like now I'm glad he got killed, but like at the same time
He needed to
you
get
got
killed
these
after they escaped.
yeah
Like it's
yeah
like if only he could have gotten him out, right? Yeah.
yeah
yeah,
could have
there were a lot of mistakes made.
But I
um,
I like I do like the fact that the family has their own personality because a
Mhm.
lot of times like when you get these like crazy families or whatever, everything is just on the surface. You
Yeah,
know, like even looking at Texas Chainsaw Massacre as the example, like it's one of my favorite movies of all time.
it's great.
But when you really look at the families, there's not a whole lot going on. Like for the most part, until you start getting into fucking sequels and like the different timelines and all that weird shit. But like the actual family itself is kind of just generally fucked up, you
Yeah,
know? And then Leatherface is like the centerpiece of it. Whereas this, you've got like an emotional investment because it goes back to the spousal abuse too.
yeah, yeah.
Because you've
Sure.
got, The wife in that family, she's got Stockholm syndrome for sure. You know,
Mhm.
like she's being abused, she's being manipulated and all these things. And, Bonnie's character tries to point that out and be like, you don't have to live like this, blah, 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 blah. And like, I think all of us have kind of been in that position before where we've had somebody who's been in a fucked up relationship and like we want it to be as simple as just being like you don't have to live like this, you can leave, and it's like it's not that simple, like
And
for in almost every situation of those, it
not at
just is
all.
not that simple.
Well,
And of course, oh,
oh,
go
go
ahead.
ahead. No, no,
I was
please.
I was gonna say like it's oh man, I lost my thought. It had
Okay,
to do
well,
with it not you go.
all right. Well, I was just gonna say that it, it gets to a point where Caitlin's like, I want to go back to that life. Like she was like, "Why did you take me? Like,
Yeah,
why
yeah,
this sucks? Like, I'd much rather have never left that
Yeah,
situation." Which is like, yeah, that's what fear and horror is going to also do to you. Like,
yeah,
make you look at the lesser of as the best, as the saving grace. Like, so
yeah.
I love that too. Like, I thought because then she comes back around because she clearly loves Danny,
yeah,
and that's what really like you they clearly loved each other, and that's what like really made me love it. And I'm really glad it became a queer one because I think it was able to explore the religious side a lot
Yeah, yeah.
cooler,
Well,
and
that
more
became
intently.
that became a big part of it was when we Neil and I had that idea, and it actually came out of a silly. We have these silly arguments sometimes about like just things that are not ever going to happen, and he was like, he's like, if Natalie Portman wants to play Caitlin, Natalie Portman gets to play Caitlin. This is probably in like 2011 or 12, and I said, there's no way. Our friend Laurel, who introduced us, who's the person who introduced us, is an actress I worked with a bunch back then. I was like, if Laurel is Caitlin, Natalie can play the other character, and we'll turn it into a queer movie. And both of us were like, nah, that probably won't work. Yeah, I don't know about that. I don't know about that. And then a couple weeks later, we came back together and we're like, it's literally the best idea we've had because then all
yeah,
of the stuff that the bad guys are doing with religious reasons for marrying and stuff like that, all the subtext appears that did not exist beforehand. And then
yeah,
and it's like, well, I always liked the story. It's like it had something more to say about what love is and what love can be and good and bad versions of love and good and bad versions of religion and good and that sort of thing and it's like that just excited me a lot and stuff and
yeah.
I appreciate all the people that love it for that and love it for being a love story that explores all that stuff.
There's some movies that I've seen that have that really would not work as well if it wasn't a queer love story.
Mhm.
And this is one of them. Like it would work still, but it would work less than
Yeah.
it did. And like there's movies I've seen like What Keeps You Alive is an example of one that I've seen where it's like it's a lesbian couple and it works very specifically as a lesbian couple.
Uh-huh.
And
I'm
if you were
writing
to
that
take
down
that,
so I can watch it.
yeah, it's a fantastic movie. I think it's like a on Netflix like pretty consistently.
The
Um
Retreat's another good one.
I was gonna say The Retreat is fantastic. The Retreat's cool too because that's like kind of another one where it flips the narrative of what the movie is.
Uh-huh.
And then one then even like a classic extreme one, High Tension.
Now I
High
love High.
Tension, like High Tension's a fantastic movie for like, for extreme horror lovers, it's fantastic. The ending is very divisive, but it's like it's one of
It
those movies.
doesn't make a lick of sense. It
No,
literally
zero. At the end of it, like
it
if you watch it a second time, you're just like, oh, that ending fucking doesn't fit at all. Like,
doesn't make sense at
but
all.
the rest of the movie's great.
But it is.
Um,
I mean, High Tension is one. I mean, I have a stack of DVDs and Blu-rays that were like reference, things, and High Tension's one of them.
big
This
fans.
it had you can tell like now that you mention it, I'm like, oh, it had a little bit of that like not sheen but and not gloss, but I don't know,
I know it's
ease.
not right. What is it? I don't know what they're
Yeah,
but it's like
but it
something about
definitely
it.
it was similar. I get it now, and
It's like a
that's
shiny grime. It's kind of
Shiny
what
yeah.
it
Grime.
It's
is.
like
Something right like
it's
that.
like
Yeah,
it's a clear. I'm
Yeah.
always trying to like because everything's grimy or greasy for me or gritty. Like I'm like, no, there's other things to how to describe. So it's weird, but like, yeah, I love that. Like it was similar to kind of what was that? Sweet Darling. Shit, what was it called?
Strange Darling.
Strange Darling.
Yeah.
Oh
That
yeah.
was the more yeah, that one's another one's fantastic. And like so this is another thing about movies like this is there's needle drop points in the movies where like you hit those times in the movie where shit changes. And specifically in yours, it happens a few times, but the dinner scene with the bacon grease,
Oh yeah.
that
Was
so
that
like
dinner or breakfast?
breakfast,
Breakfast.
whatever the fuck it
It was
was.
absolutely breakfast because
Yeah,
the bacon grease.
yeah, I eat bacon for dinner. I don't give a
I'm sure.
Oh
fuck.
yeah, man.
Fair,
Yeah,
fair,
yeah.
fair.
But like the thing that was cool about that scene is not only just the bacon grease thing itself, that was fucking gnarly, but there's also that again that whiplash effect because you have them facing each other, you have them trying to maneuver their way out of it psychologically, and then the husband just fucking throws the gauntlet down. It's like, all right, fine, prove it. And then, like, so that needle drop hits, and it's just like, oh, fuck, what are they gonna do? Like, you
And you
know?
did it. You poured it down her throat. Man, that was one of my favorite because it fucked with me so bad.
Yeah, it's
But
perfect.
like that is one of my favorite non-kills.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah,
like there's always I think non-kills don't get enough credit. Everybody loves,
Uh,
oh, what's your
like,
favorite kill? What, but like non-kills are brutal because you have to
yeah,
live with
it's a
that
bad
shit.
one. It hurts.
And like pouring bacon grease down somebody's throat and the sound it makes. Oh, it was
Well,
so awesome.
watching that in like crowded film festival theaters and stuff like that, that moment is just like it's fantastic to hear the
I
audience
bet.
react.
I'm sure. Like,
I
Like the
bet.
who
broken
was,
leg. Those are
who,
those are two moments where and that and
dude,
then
the leg is
the
fucked.
the,
The
the
leg is so fucked up. Like, and
yeah,
also, what's her face? Maria Olsen, the one that
yeah,
plays, the wife. She's also like a genre, mainstay. Like she's one of those
yeah,
people like you see her and you're like, oh fuck, I've seen her before 100 times. It's hard to always pull back the movie, but it's like, oh yeah, I've seen her in a bunch.
yeah.
And she's very seasoned in those types of parts. Like she does a very, very good job. And the other thing I wanted to mention about this is that the way that that whole like scene is framed, the whole bacon grease scene and everything like that, the way that that's framed, the tension that you built up to that point, like
Ooh.
that was such a perfect, like, the pressure cooker is at its top. We have to flip the switch in one way, shape, or form. And
Uh,
then this happens. And I was like, I was kind of expecting her voice to be completely gone at that point, but I'm happy that it wasn't. Um, like I've made bacon without a shirt on before and like got one little tiny splatter, just a little tiny one, and I was just like, fuck that, I'm putting on like 4 layers now. Like there's no
right?
way.
Mhm.
Yes.
So I couldn't imagine even the thought process that you would have to go through to pull off that scene as actors, the way that they did. Who came up with that scene?
That's me.
Yeah. Yeah,
Fantastic.
that was me. I did that one.
Because one of the things that Neil and I were doing with the script was doing um, like basically trying to hit romance movie beats throughout a horror movie, and then also hit it's a wedding, right? So you have the bachelor and bachelorette party. You have this is the rehearsal dinner. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
This is what that kind of those wedding tropes of things, and the original script thing that I think Neil had in there was a kettle on the stove that was whistling as
Oh,
the scene was going on and getting so you had this whistling sound, and then he dumps the boiling water down her throat, and I thought about it and I was like, this that hurts, but we've all drank too hot coffee before and it doesn't really fuck you up, right? And so then
Right.
I heard a story that may or may not be true about Tone Loc and his the reason he has this gravelly voice supposedly is that his stepdad or his dad dumped bacon grease down his throat when he was a kid being a bad kid. I don't know if this is a true story or not, but it's something that I heard. And I thought, wait, maybe it should be bacon grease. And so then it was like, let's do bacon grease. And Neil always thought that he's like, oh, she's dead. Like it's gonna burn her, completely kill her. Like there's no way she's gonna live. And I'm like, I don't know. So I did a bunch of like, research of like what would happen if this happened. And it's like, the answer is, I mean, you might die from an infection eventually, but it's like
Sure.
it's basically just going to scald the entire inside of your throat. And whether or not your voice comes back or not is to the healing and what treatments you can get and how bad it was and all that kind of stuff. So I thought, well, this is perfect. We have Danny, who's a singer, and she has to make a choice. I mean, that scene I always call Danny's dilemma. It's like you have to make a choice between the person you love and the thing you love the most, which is singing. And like,
Right.
and I don't like in my own personal choice in a relationship, if you ever have to choose between your dream and the person that you're dating because they demand it, tell that person to fuck themselves because they don't actually love you, because they don't love you,
Yeah.
who you are and what you love. But for the purposes of the movie, I was like, this is a perfect, dilemma to put her in. And then also on a meta level, it's like you have Danny, who's a lesbian, and you have Caitlin, who's exploring this, and
Right.
you have religious conservative people trying to silence her and silence Danny and silence her voice and take her voice away, and she doesn't let that. You know what I mean? It's
Yeah.
like it burns her voice, but she still fights back, and she still fights back through action and stuff like that. So there's a meta narrative there of the fact that you can't actually silence, like whatever hate you may have, you can't actually silence the people through hate. Like it's not going
Yeah.
to. Like love is going to prevail somehow or another. It doesn't mean it's not going to suck along the way. It doesn't mean terrible things aren't going to happen, but it doesn't.
Yeah.
That's kind of the
Fuck,
meta
I love
narrative
that.
of the battle. So.
Well, and also the way that you frame that scene, I'll point this out as the last thing about that scene, but like the way
We
that
can
you
talk about that scene
framed,
all day.
and well, yeah, dude, believe me, like the fact that we're gonna have to cut this episode even shorter than we want, like we'll have you back for round two for sure
I
because
think
like there's
so.
so much shit to talk about.
Oh, hey, I'll do it. I'll do it straight
Yeah,
after
yeah,
round two.
but
Come on
but
with Bonnie or something.
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah. Bonnie or
um,
Kelsey, for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, let's get them
but
both.
this is the thing about that scene that I think actually, whether it was on purpose or not, it actually was kind of ingenious because the tormenting that the husband's doing
Yeah, yeah.
allows the bacon grease to simmer down a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
So it's no longer on the heat. So it's no longer to the point where it's like, the hottest that it could possibly be, but still bacon
It was
grease
still snapping.
but that's what I'm saying though. And like I'm talking about this from from a standpoint of if he was to have taken it straight off the pan,
Yeah, and
like
dumped
straight off the thing and then poured it directly down her throat that way, for her to not have a voice or for her to have a voice after that wouldn't make as much sense. Like it wouldn't because that like if it's just straight from the stove, like in my head that's going to melt her esophagus like completely.
Sure.
Whereas
I
with this one
honestly, well, go
it
ahead.
just the fact that he's like using it as a tormenting thing and also like the countdown and the everything like just from a logical standpoint that's still gonna fuck her world up but it's not going to completely destroy her esophagus and her voice and stuff.
Probably not. It's not like it's not like she says anything else the rest of the movie, but although there was on the Blu-ray and DVD on when that comes out here, hopefully soon,
Yeah.
there's an alternate ending where there's more talking, where they're actually
Oh.
playing an alphabet game, and it's just one of those things that's like to make someone's voice sound as bad as you need it to sound is not something you can do in post. Like I literally, we tried to figure it out. Like, is there a way you can do this in post production? And everyone's like, nope. She would have to have like smoked packs of cigarettes and then tried to fuck up her voice to do the scene and then like strained her. And I'm not going to do that. Kelsey's actually a singer. she actually sings with the symphony in Nashville.
That opening bit and stuff, or not bit, but the opening scene where she's playing at the bar and stuff. It's gorgeous. Yeah. It's a gorgeous song.
Yeah,
was that her?
That's her singing it live on set.
Fucking great. Fucking great.
Fantastic.
And the song is written by a friend of mine, Brandon Mickelon. He lives in Denver now, and he went on a backpacking trip around Europe. And when he got back from the trip, he wanted to like capture that feeling, and so he wrote this song, and he sent it to me. And he said, "Hey, what do you think of this? This came from this trip, and the trip came from he got inspired to go on the trip because I write a travel blog about my backpacking trips. So it's sort of like a full circle thing where it came back. And he said, I said, one, I love, absolutely love the song. And two, it captures exactly what that is, like
Yeah.
exactly what that feeling of backpacking is, and so perfectly. And it wasn't always the song that she sang. It wasn't always that song for that part of the movie. It's called Rootless Tree. You can actually listen to it on YouTube Music and
Oh, nice.
Spotify and all those
Awesome.
like goes straight onto Morning Soundtrack is there with the songs from the movie. And uh, he it was one of those things that's like she was originally saying Road to Your Smile, the love song, because there's a whole deleted scene that has her ex-girlfriend in it who gives her a guitar and gives her the, go get them, you can still live your dreams and all this stuff. And we didn't end up shooting that in the first set of shooting. So when we got just filming that scene, which was almost the last thing we shot, I now was like, that's not the right song. The right song this is Danny's anthem, which is, life could be a great journey or not at all. And it's like, is one of the lyrics of the song. And so
It's so good. It's such a strong part of the movie too.
no, I
Like
love,
it
yeah,
sets it up and yeah, I love that.
yeah.
Like we
Kelsey,
said,
oh, go
we
ahead.
we could talk to you for forever, but we do want to get you to
Oh
Evil
no, I
Dead
got time. I
Bird.
got, I got, I got another 25 minutes. We don't got to go nowhere.
Well, the
The Dawn of the Dead list can get chatty, so that's why that's a thing. So
that's why, yeah.
Donna,
But
Donna, this is something else. You have something else besides just the
yes, we
yeah,
have
yeah,
yes,
yeah.
we
Oh,
have
I didn't realize it. I didn't realize it. I want to
no,
take
no,
all. I
that's
want to take all the
okay.
spotlight.
We have well, no, we have the Dawn of the Dead list where we ask you
Oh,
six opinion questions about horror. But before we get to that, is there anything else you want to say about the movie and when how people can support it?
yeah. I mean, first off, thanks you both so much for like, all
Of course,
the
we
positive stuff, and
fucking loved
also
it.
the really, thoughtful conversation about it and stuff. It's been really fun to dive into the themes and stuff like that, and not just, some of the mechanics, if you will. Although I enjoy those
Sure.
conversations as well.
For sure. I don't know much about mechanics, so I wouldn't know what to ask, but I love hearing about that stuff actually. But like, yeah, this was it was filled with so much that you could bite onto.
Oh
Like
yeah.
that's what like in every scene from the beginning to the end, it's a great movie. Like
Oh,
it's
thank
just
you.
it's I loved watching it every time.
Yeah, I
So
mean, to answer your question about like supporting it, I mean, it's obviously, watch it, buy it, rent it, own it when it comes out on DVD and Blu-ray, if that's your thing. It's like there's definitely, I got commentaries on there and a bunch of deleted scenes that also have commentaries, and then we have
I'll be
film.
buying that immediately.
yeah,
Just
Jonas
just to throw it out
is
there. Yeah.
yeah,
There's film festival Q&As that I edited down so there wasn't like repeat questions. And then
nice.
sometimes that we might be talking about like visual effects, and so I show some before and after of like the roof stunt and things like that. And then
Oh, nice.
it also has the original, so the opening sequence of the movie. So this movie was shot over many years. We shot for 5 days in 2018, 22 days in 2022, and then like 4 planned pickup days at the beginning of 2023, and then probably like another 9 days of like inserts of bits and pieces as I would edit and re-edit and be like, okay, we need this shot of hands on a door with a key or whatever the thing
Mm.
is, to clarify a point, or more blood in this section or whatever. And we shot that in 2018, and I tried to use the opening sequence because we shot the opening sequence, the deleted scene of Danny with her ex-girlfriend, and the scene where she meets her bandmates was shot in 2018. And so we tried to use that opening sequence to raise money and stuff like that. And then the pandemic happened. And then, I was like, okay, I spent way too much money and time and effort on this to not just have it sitting on a computer. So I was like, how can
Yeah.
I make it a short film without reshooting a lot, with just like shooting like bookends or something like that? And so we came up with a way to do that, and that's called Anniversary. And so it's the opening sequence, but with a little bit of different dialogue and some bookends and stuff to tell a different story in a way. So
Nice.
that's also on the DVD, Blu-ray plus commentary, because I'm going to talk about all of them. And
I love that kind of stuff though. That's one of the reasons that I have so much physical media is for the commentaries and for
yeah,
the extra stuff. And like whenever I get a Blu-ray that doesn't have like anything extra, I'm like, well, that's fucking lazy. But like I'm still glad that it's there. But like it's just like, And that was the last thing I wanted to bring up. Man, the opening of the movie is
Ooh.
fucking brutal. Like, and
Yeah, right.
but like it's emotionally and physically
Mhm.
brutal, and you've got like a trifecta of fucked up things happening. So you've got the new husband who's
Uh-huh.
stuck under the car.
Yep.
You've got the pregnant wife who is like actively dying, and then also the baby bump is now has been Gallaghered like
Uh-huh.
it's a fucking watermelon. And
Uh-huh.
so you've got like these three different horrific things happening at one time, and like it sets a tone that is like very bleak, but at the same time also immediately makes you invested. Like that kind of an opening is a perfect opening for this type of a movie.
Oh, thank you.
So whoever's brainchild that was, like,
That's Neil. We got to give the
yeah,
credit to Neil on that one. Yeah.
kudos to him for that.
Sticking that at the top and then like moving right into like the beautiful origins of a love story was fucking great.
Well,
Yeah.
what's interesting about that opening scene is for many, many moons, it was just Lily pregnant driving home from like a diner job. And then flat tire gets crushed,
Yeah.
the freak out jump, all that stuff. And then at some point, along the way, we're like, well, it should be both of them. Like it should be Ruben and
Yeah.
Lily because it's like it's their love story, and this is the inciting, incident, if you will, of what turn them off on a different direction, perhaps. Like if this hadn't happened to them, and Virgil hadn't been maimed, and Virgil hadn't been, had his head crushed, or whatever, he probably might have been a normal child in the sense that he could have, lived in society and functioned, and like none of this would have happened if it wasn't for, that instant moment of stuff. But yeah, that was always, and the original script that was way more over the top, like gore and stuff.
Sure.
The baby, her water broke, and the baby came out and like crawled up her body like this.
Oh shit.
and and then later on, it was David Albert before it was Danny Dupree. He gets his leg gets broken, and they rip his leg off, and so he proceeds to kick the stump of his leg like through people's heads.
Oh shit.
Oh.
Well, like needless to say, it was a completely different tone. Like the violence
Yeah.
was so over the top, but like the heart was a different movie. And I was like, I feel like that's not that to me. That kind of violence didn't fit the genuine love story that was going on with the movie. So
Yeah,
I agree
I,
with
over
that.
I
time,
agree.
Neil's a great collaborator, and so he you know did rewrites and ideas and stuff like that. And eventually he was just like, this is yours, Craig. Like,
Nice.
I've worked on this for enough years, but this doesn't exist without his brainchild. And he lived in Maine. He drove to LA in like 3 days.
Fuck.
His friend Bruno in the movie, that she visits, like that friend lives in Chicago, and he
Oh
wasn't
shit, nice.
at the time. So it's like, but that's why he's named Bruno and stuff like that. So it's, that
I could talk about the bandmates when she goes to
yeah,
visit
they're fun.
them, and they're all for a whole episode,
Yeah.
and like why they didn't like because that they have a whole love story of their own, which is like a very protected one,
Yeah.
and Danny's going out to a very not protected one. Anyway,
Yeah, Dawn of
everybody
the
go
Dead.
watch this movie. It's
Yeah.
so fucking rad. All right, the Dawn of the Dead list.
Dawn of the Dead list.
Here we
It's
go.
just six opinion questions. You answer them however you want, whether it's
However you
short
want.
or
If
long or whatever.
the opinion is Dawn of the Dead better than Day of the Dead? The
That's
answer,
not one of
No,
the
but
questions.
that's
yes.
not a bad
Now,
one.
now my friend Daniel Krauss, best-selling author Daniel Krauss, would say it's Day of the Dead, and we have had this argument for years about which is the better movie. He also wrote a book called Partially Devoured. That's a shot-by-shot analysis of Night of the Living Dead.
Oh
Oh,
Which
shit.
cool.
is his favorite movie, and like most inspirational things. Anyway, check it out. Pimp out Dan's movie.
I love that.
Absolutely.
Dan's book, I should say. He's got and he got a movie coming out. Whale Falls coming out in October.
Cool.
Oh fuck, I know exactly. Okay, I've seen the trailer for that one.
He wrote that book and co-wrote that script, and it's gonna be fucking cool. So,
Yeah, it looks like it.
Awesome.
I can't wait. Can't wait. Anyway, all right.
All right,
No,
Dawn
no,
of the
we're
Dead
good.
list. Number one, Freddy or Jason?
Freddy. For
You're a
sure.
Freddy fan?
Yeah, I mean, for sure, they're way more interesting movies. Like,
Yeah, I
there's
mean,
so much
Fair.
creativity and so much more going on. Yeah, yeah, for sure, Freddie.
until you
Uh,
get to Jason X. Jason X
Tubi.
is it's you know what? Fuck it. Jason X is actually really an awesome movie. I don't care what people say. It's
Joe,
fun.
my
That,
favorite is like everybody's least favorite, but it's Manhattan. It's
uh,
8. And I fucking love Manhattan.
Neil, co-writer of this, he loves all these movies. He can
Yeah,
watch
yeah.
the dumb people getting killed over and over again so many times, and punching off the head and all that. Like he
Hmm.
loves the Friday the 13th movies. But yeah,
Yeah.
I'll take the Nightmare on Elm Street is. Yeah, I always think they're real. No,
I think
they're not all
number
good, but they are
3,
all
no, but
clever.
I think
Three is
number 3
amazing.
might be
Four is
the best
amazing.
out of all of them. Like
Yeah.
out of Friday the 13th and Nightmare on Elm Street. Like
Yeah.
3, Dream Warriors might be the best. Unreal. All right, number 2. What movie would you remake?
Oh, wow. I thought you were going to ask me a different question in regards to that. What movie would I remake? I would remake Alien 3 because it
Oh,
should have
fuck
been the
yeah.
aliens coming to Earth, and it should have been Newt and Ripley and Hicks, and it should have been that. And I would have, that's always been the thing. I was like, how did they miss that? They even promised us that in the teaser trailer, where it's like, in 1979, you learned in space no one can hear you scream. In 1986, we learned there are some places in the universe you don't go alone. Next summer, we learned that on Earth, everyone can hear you scream, and it's the egg over the Earth. It's the greatest
Yeah.
teaser trailer of all time, and it's literally not what the movie is.
Yeah,
Yep.
that's true.
So, yeah, I would have done that, and no, that's but I'd have to go back in time and get Michael Biehn, who, by the way, at one point we were in conversations with about being Ruben in Straight On to Morning,
Oh shit.
long before it became this version of it. But bless his heart, he was like, I'm going to leave this one to you and your ambition, Craig.
That would have been fun.
Yeah.
I like that. If you could erase one movie from existence, what would it be?
Alien Resurrection.
Wow. Nice.
Really? That's
With the
a hot
quickness on
take.
that one.
I am an Alien fanatic, and I enjoy every single one. But go ahead.
That was just an instinct thing. There's other ones I would really.
No. That's fine. I love the instinct.
Resurrection's the one that most people would eliminate.
Yeah, it's so bad. Like, it's like, what the fuck were they doing? And the baby thing, and the what the hell, and like, why is so
I
bad?
loved it so much because
Graham, we're gonna have to fight.
Ripley, it's the sexiest Ripley is in any of the movies.
Well, that
It's got like a comic feel because it was directed by that dude that did Delicatessen,
which
and
I love.
City of-
And
Yeah. It's got like a comic book. It feels more like when the comic books were doing it, and I love the dude on the back of what's his name, the big Sons of Anarchy guy.
I saw that movie once. It was the first movie I ever saw at the Chinese theater, and I was like, "Fuck this movie! I will never watch it again."
I have the same mole that Winona Ryder has when she plugs in.
Yeah.
When she plugs in. All right, this leads right into the other our fourth question, which is Alien or Aliens.
Oh, that's a nearly impossible thing to choose.
I love
if I
it.
had to, I would have to say Aliens. The second.
Aliens. Yep. All right.
But like literally by like a millimeter.
That's why we asked it, because it's a very hard. They're
time.
Very different too, but like absolutely like two of the best
claustrophobic
movies.
pure horror and like comedic action horror. Like they're
and horrific. It's pretty scary.
I would say Aliens has some comedic beats for sure.
Sure. Yeah, Hudson is funny, but he's funny because he's fucking scared shitless.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah.
As the audience,
Alien, though, has no humor. None whatsoever.
No. And I love it for it. I love it.
Yeah, 100%.
I mean, honestly, those movies, when like growing up, we would have sleepovers, and we would either watch Alien at night and Aliens in the morning, or we'd watch Aliens at night and Alien in the morning. It's like, I mean, I love them. Like, those are two of my favorite movies of all time, which is why I hate Alien Resurrection and Alien and fuck Alien Covenant. And fuck Prometheus. Like, I love you, Ridley Scott, but what are you doing with those movies? They should never. Prometheus has nothing to do with the Alien series. Romulus was pretty good. I actually thought Romulus.
Romulus was cool.
I thought
I liked
Romulus
Romulus
was
a lot.
pretty rad.
Yeah.
I love Ridley Scott, but what were you doing there? We
I
talked.
hear
Did I
you.
just lose my chance of working with Scott Free with that one?
Yeah.
Take it out. Take that
I
part
feel
of
like even Ridley has to step back a little bit and be like, it's all right. I fucked up a little bit. It's all right.
He's made a lot of masterpieces, and he's made a lot of movies that aren't amazing, and a lot of movies in between. But the beautiful thing is, he's made a lot of movies, and
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Who's the director of Romulus?
Betty
Fede
Alvarez,
Alvarez.
Right.
Yep.
What was his other thing?
Evil Dead remake, and Don't
Right.
Evil Dead 2013. Yeah, he did.
That's what it was. That's why I love him.
I think he was also one of the ones in the Satanic Hispanics anthology.
I
Oh,
think
cool.
Yeah.
All right, number 5, basement or attic?
just basement or attic.
You had
Do I
scenes
like
in both.
Which one is scarier? Which one do you escape to? Like,
Oh man, I guess attic. I mean, there's pretty. I mean, both locations in this movie have good scenes that take place in them.
that is
Yeah.
true.
No.
Your movie does have both, actually, that's rare for movies to have both of them be
The whole
equally
house,
terrifying.
I loved it. Yeah.
Yeah,
The whole
and
house
that
was fucking scary.
that house is in Missouri. We're starting people going on the tours. No, my dad and stepmom were the first people to do the straight on to morning Missouri location tours because they were just there visiting some family members, and they went to the diner, which is no longer Murphy's Diner. It is now, I think it's Rob. No, it's not Rob. It's somebody else's, like Jim's Diner or something. Same place. The walls are black now, but it's the same place, and the tables are the same. So I guess the owners sold the diner at some point. Ironically, the person who bought the diner is somebody who turned us down for a location for when we shot the movie. Because
Oh, wow.
my aunt Arlene, who plays the boss in that scene and whose house we stayed at and everything, we were trying to shoot. It's supposed to be in a convenience store, and I couldn't find one. Amazingly, that was the one thing I couldn't find in Missouri. Like everything else was relatively easy to find. Anyway, so she talked to one person. He said, "No, I'm not interested." She went to Murphy's Diner, which is in the place. Rob and his family were amazing. Let us shoot there. I mean, literally just let us shoot there. They're like, "Okay, here's the keys. Close up when you're done." And I'm just like,
That's
"Wow,
awesome.
like you guys are amazing." Ironically, the person who turned us down at the first place has now purchased that diner. And so my dad's stepmom and Arlene went in there, and they ate, and they said, "Oh, did you know this was in a movie?" And they're like, "Oh, I didn't know that." And it's like, "Oh yeah, if we gave you a poster and stuff, would you put it up to advertise that this was in a movie?" He's like, "Oh yeah, I'd do that." And it's like, "Well, why didn't you let us shoot in your diner in the first place?" So I haven't been back there. So and then the house is in Missouri. Anyway, finding that house was to find a house that had an attic that you could crawl out of and do all that stunts on and everything was one of the things that made finding that house so difficult. And then of course the people who live there, Jim and Carol, are incredible. You can hear them in one of the commentary or in one of the Q&As. They just thank us for shooting there. And I mean, like we took over their house for 3 weeks, and they still were generous and kind and wonderful. And so,
It's amazing.
Yeah, without them, there's definitely no movie as we know it because that house is such an important part of the movie.
It is. It's a great part. It has like that.
It's essentially its own character. Like it's
Yeah,
which
it's
really
got
does. It's great.
the Texas Chainsaw House, but I don't even. It kind of reminds me of shit. What's it called? My favorite ghost movie. We are still here.
Oh yeah,
Like the house is kind of similar, but like it's I don't know. I love it. I love
That,
everything.
that
Anyway,
house was built in 1862 or 3. Like during
Yeah.
that checks out.
war.
Yeah,
And they have pictures of it before they kind of refurbished the outside, and it was part of me was like, I kind of wish it still looked like that because it's like
Right.
the paint's all ripped off, and the guy who lived there was like a recluse and literally was breaking off pieces of the banister to burn them in the fireplace, like that banister outside.
Oh,
And so
damn.
it was all ripped apart and everything. So they bought it and they put a lot of love into it and to make it like as gorgeous and cool as it is now. But
he went and fucked it up with a lot of blood.
yeah, we did, and they were fun because they would like watch us do the thing. And,
That's awesome.
I was so fascinated about it. At one point, he was like, he's like, "Man, that sheriff, I just want to clock that sheriff in the face the way he's treating these women. I was like, yeah, Jim. So
All right, last question.
last one. All right.
Favorite kill of all time?
Oh my God. Favorite kill, dude, God.
That answer can change weekly, but
Uh, I,
what's the first one that comes to your head?
and Terror Firmer when he gets pulled into the escalator. When the guy
Oh
gets
yeah, dude.
escalator.
That's a very good one.
It's
That's a
so
great
funny.
one.
I mean, it's
Yeah.
not, it's not a
No,
scary
no,
film.
it's kind of funny. Like in horror world, it's kind of funny.
It's
Like
so funny.
The,
Like, I
the
mean,
first, probably my favorite kill when I was younger was in Toxic Avenger when the weightlifting guy gets half his
oh,
head ripped off.
yeah, that's a
mm,
great one.
That shit is
yeah.
so good, but it fucked me up at first, and I was like, this movie is just goofy as
I,
fuck.
I just thought of another one. The toxic waste guy in RoboCop.
No,
Oh yeah,
yeah,
another
that's
really good one.
that's
Yeah.
a very
great one.
very memorable kill.
All right, well,
You want to do
th-
some quick recommendations, Graham?
I
Sure.
don't have any.
Okay, I can do
I
mine.
gave them all. Yeah, do yours real quick.
All right. So in the theaters, I'm going to re-recommend Her Private Hell because it's coming out this weekend, which will probably be the weekend before when this actually comes out. But it rules. Definitely do that one. For streaming, I'm going to do the rare recommendation of a non-horror streaming, and I'm going to recommend Masters of the Universe because it just came out on Amazon Prime and it actually fucking rules if you're a He-Man fan. Like if you're an old school He-Man fan,
I'm
it is
so excited to
fun
see
as
that.
fuck. And for physical media, I'm going to recommend two of them. We have Freeway and Freeway 2. So,
Nice.
Freeway 2. I didn't even know there was a Freeway 2.
exactly, yeah, most people don't know there's a Freeway 2. Freeway 2 has Natasha Lyonne in it. And it's also a fairy tale type thing turned into a twisted, fucked up movie like the first one is. Yeah, it's called Freeway 2 Confessions of a Trick Baby. And it's just as fucked up and grimy as the first one. Just, it got a little bit of a different thing going on. But they're both great, and you can get those both from Vinegar Syndrome, which is one of my favorite boutique labels. So definitely get those. And then music, Extinction AD has a new track out that just dropped like 2 days ago. So keep listening to all of Extinction AD's stuff.
Oh man, those are some good recommendations.
Yeah. So Graham, do
All
you
right.
have anything?
Yeah, I got for some good old fashioned New York City hardcore, Total Meltdown just released EP2. Total Meltdown is fucking rad. I actually booked their first show at the Nest once, and they're just rad dudes, and they play dope fucking music. And their new EP is heavy as fuck. Toilet Rats whole album, Black Cats, just came out.
What a great
Uh,
name.
they're incredible, and I can't. I am really into No Cure's new one. Is it going to get dark? It's like deathcore almost, I think, but it's more hardcore, I'd say. Um, by No Cure, it's fucking incredible. No Cure is fantastic, but if you want straight up really great hardcore, and if you want some good old fashioned like alternative pop, hip hop, Sophie Hunter's new Stereoscope. It's her debut album. I think I may have already recommended it, but it's a banger every song.
Yeah.
Sophie
Sophie
Hunter
Hunter rules.
fucking rules, and Stereoscope debut album. It's exactly what I want. So
All right,
that's
Craig,
it. I don't have any. Yeah. Oh,
Yeah,
go ahead.
I
Yeah.
I
got
was
to
gonna say,
recommend
take us
something.
home. You recommend whatever you want, man.
In theaters, I would actually recommend The Invite. I'd say go see The Invite. Also, go see The Odyssey. Honestly, it's a great time. But go
Yeah,
see The
if you
Invite
can
and The
get a
Odyssey.
ticket for it.
They're the same film, really. It's kind of very strange how much they're exact. No, I'm just kidding. They're completely different. Streaming. What have I watched streaming? I haven't had that much time lately. I enjoyed watching Fallout. I thought Fallout was a blast.
Oh yeah, it's great.
Yeah.
Definitely
Super
not
fun.
indie streaming by any means, but I thought that was a great time. Although books,
Yeah.
I'd recommend two books. Matt Harry, my friend Matt Harry wrote this book called Ashland, which is a like dystopian detective novel in a future Los Angeles where nanobots have escaped all over the world and they devour anything immediately, so everybody's trapped inside. and
Fuck
everything.
yeah.
It's really cool. It's really neat story, real neat, sci-fi world with a good mystery to it. And then I got to shout out Dan Krauss. I haven't read his new book, The Sixth Nick, but I recommend Angel Down, which is a book that he wrote that won the Pulitzer Prize 2.5 months ago for fiction. So
Fuck
go,
yeah.
best friend from college, Dan Krauss. Hey, let me direct
That's
one of
awesome.
your movies.
Yeah, yeah, dude.
And then, of course, really the thing you should watch on streaming is Straight On Till Morning.
Yes,
Yes.
There.
absolutely. I think we all recommend that you go right away. You should, by the time you've gotten to this point, you
You
should
should
have
have already
already
watched
seen
it.
it
Yeah, I
since we
mean,
Yeah, yeah.
told you to earlier.
like we kind of spoiled half the things that happen in the movie.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
So, like,
So,
I hope you've seen it. Thank you if you have seen it. If you haven't seen it, thank you if you go see it. And if you haven't and have no interest after listening to this podcast or watching it, thank you for getting this far and enjoying, Jonas
Of
and Greg.
course, yeah. Absolutely.
and we'll hunt you down and force you to watch it.
Hell
Yeah.
yeah.
Jonas and
So,
I are big tough guys.
yes, big, big tough guys. We're very Danhausen. We're very nice, very evil.
Yeah,
But Craig, you fucking rule. We will definitely have you back
absolutely.
for a round two on this, like,
Oh, thanks so
sooner
much,
than
guys.
later, because yeah, your movie rules, you rule, and I feel like you're as much of a horror nerd as we are, so we
Yeah,
can
this
we can
might
definitely
be
talk more.
my. It's in the top three of movies that
Oh,
came out
yeah.
this year.
Yeah,
I thought it because I think it said it came out in 2024
Well, that's
on
when
the
it's
thing, but
its festival run.
exactly. So I
yeah,
want to know when it officially. That's why I asked earlier. I want to know
Yeah, yeah.
yeah.
officially, and it's this year. And I love finding new movies like this because it means people are still fucking making great movies. And I am not a fan of nostalgic uh gatekeeping and stuff like that. Like, oh, you have to see the only the classics are good. No, there's
Yeah.
good movies coming out all the time. And when
Yeah.
you find one like
Especially in
this,
horror.
you know exactly why. So
Yeah,
thank you.
No, thank you
absolutely.
guys. This has been super, super fun. Yeah, definitely happy to come back anytime. And yeah, I look
Awesome.
forward to listening to the Bonnie one and hear what insights Bonnie has to say about the movie because
Hell yeah,
this movie does not exist without all her hard work. So
love it.
Awesome.
Well, as everybody knows, it's rough outside, so if you need to hit us up, please do. We're always here to talk and listen. We need more horror fans, not less. So that's the biggest thing. If you're going through it and the brain ghosts are loud, fucking hit us up. We're happy to listen and happy to talk. In the meantime, Craig, you rule. Straight on till morning rules. We're so happy to have you. Everybody else, start some fires and break some glass.
yeah.